SNX Radio is live tonight.
Anomalies dropping, feel the cosmic drive.
Channel a flame and medium with the light.
Break it down, right?
This the best passion, you lift them high.
Evidence loaded, sharp in every line.
Experience a heart, raw and deeply real.
Truth that we seal.
Unstoppable force, no one can deny. Paving the way on this cosmic beat.
High strangeness rising, veil getting thin.
Cases we're breaking, let the truth rush in.
Never leading the way, night and day. Truth beyond disclosure, hear the people say.
Psionic fire, spiritual flow so deep.
Analytical mind, patterns that we keep.
Together with a balance, heart and mind unite.
Unstoppable duo, shining through the night. We're leading the way to beyond disclosure. Every night, feel the coffee exposure. Hands up high, never back down. Unstoppable force, taking over disclosure. We're leading the way to beyond disclosure. Every night, feel the coffee exposure. Hands up high, never back down. Unstoppable force, taking over disclosure. We're leading the way. Passionate rants with that wild spark.
Steady breakdowns, lighting up the dark.
Synergy stronger, no one can compete.
Paving the future, watch the whole world see.
We break it down deep, make the truth reveal. Guests filling accounts from the front lines crew. Saucers dancing silent, radar can't pursue. This ain't theory, this the raw disclosure sound. On SNX Radio, we holding it down.
We will go lead me up. Lights in the sky, we never stop.
Truth warriors unite, never gonna stop.
Lead me up, lead me up.
Break it down.
We're leading the way to beyond disclosure. Rebel today, feel the cosmic exposure. Hands up high, never back down. Unstoppable force, taking over disclosure. Leading the way to beyond disclosure. Rebel today, feel the cosmic exposure. Hands up high, never back down. Unstoppable force, taking over disclosure. Leading the way.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SNX Radio. I'm Coley, also known as ColeyUFO. And every time, oh my gosh, we go on, I can't get to the top of the thing, Maya. So I'm sorry that I was awkward. I pulled it, I accidentally pulled poor Sean out in the beginning. So yes, and I fixed the problem too. It's just what it does. So I just want to say hello to everybody. And two, thank you guys for being here. I see the chats going, and it's always awesome to see everybody. And oh, good, the comments came back. Thank God. At least StreamYard's a little gracious in that way. Sometimes it'll wipe out the chat for a second. I'm like, no.
Oh my God.
I know, not our chat. I love it. Two, I wanted to say that Amy, too, thank you for gifting one UFO or ColeyUFO membership. And so welcome to the new SNX ground crew member. Thank you and always appreciated. And Amy, thanks for linking us up. So I got ColeyUFO and Diane Bow. Thank you for the inspiration for that. So it's ColeyUFO, beam me up. Maya Fire Starfire, light it up tonight. So and yeah, this is awesome. So we'll just get going real quick, say hello to everybody, and then we'll get Sean on out here and we can go ahead and start. So again, Amy, thank you for all you do and welcome to the team. It's great to have you, girl. You the links, you are a link warrior. However you did this, girl, you did awesome at it. Appreciate it. Hey, Pops. Guys, don't know, definitely join in tomorrow, every second and fourth Monday of the month. We have Pop's Cryptid panel, and that is at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And yeah, hey, John Allen, I see you in here. Area 51, great to see you. Great to see you. Moon at noon, always nice to see you, Moon. And I got Blackie. Nice to see you guys have not gone over to the Oddcast podcast. Definitely do so. Give them a subscribe, and definitely they have great stuff over there. Him and Erica They're an awesome team. Diane. Oh, hey, Diane. And like I said, Diane, if you check on our description page, I put a thank you in there for you. So Michigan Sandman, great to see you back. Also, if you wanted to come on a Friday, definitely shoot me over an email. Hey, Dan Schrader. Oh my gosh, I'll have to get you, and you'll have to come back on. That would be so awesome. He was I said everybody needs a Dan. They really do. Him and John were great experiencers. Awesome to see you guys in here. And then I have Squatch and Holler. You guys, if you have not gone over to Roger's channel, Squatch and Holler, and also he's on the Untold Network, definitely go over and follow them. They have a great show on Sundays and Thursdays, I believe. Roger, are you still doing your Thursday show? You can let us know in chat if you are. But yeah, they have a great show over there. Roger's awesome. And let me see. Do you have anybody on your end?
I see Werewolf and the J. Michael Show. Catherine's Fabulous. I think I read that fast enough. We got E because I can't pronounce Elleria.
I know. And she told me like the worst thing was is that people can pronounce her name, and I was like, she said, but we could call her E, so that's why we call her E.
And Michigan Sandman here, and PW75 and a bunch of letters.
Yeah. Yeah. I got Christy Campbell. Welcome over from Sean's channel. Silver Cord Spiritual Science. Welcome over from Sean's channel.
TJ Felony.
Hi, T.
And I know I saw Area 51 in here somewhere earlier, but I can't see
William
him.
Nighthawk, we got too. Hey, William.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Chat was already at like a couple hundred when we got on here. I was like, that's awesome. I love seeing it popping. It's so cool to see Mr. Catfish. Hey, good to see you. And if you want to do a show too, anybody in the chat wants to do a show, please, our email address, I'll put it up there too. So you can just shoot me an email and we'll get you on. It'll be great. And I think that's about, Moon, thank you so much for the super chat, Moon. That's awesome. And I think we're good. We're caught up. And if I missed you, I definitely, Magneticus, hey, I will definitely make it up to you in chat. So real quickly, just want to tell you a little bit about, if you guys don't know who Sean Bond is, you definitely will today. He is, let me get to where he is. So he is a spiritual healer, a psychic practitioner, and founder of, what is it? You know what, that this is not out of my territory, so we'll just have him tell us where he's from. Silver Cord Spiritual Science. Maya, do you know, because that's kind of more your territory. Psionic, is I was saying it right?
He can probably tell you a little more, but he's very good. He does energy readings, energy healings. He can do it online live too, which is something I have yet to master. So that alone is super impressive. He is one of the 2 people I've ever had do a reading on a healing for me ever, and he did an amazing job. He was able to pick up on stuff that I hadn't even talked about with anybody. So he's legit, the real deal. He's a real nice guy. So yeah, anything else he'll be able to tell better than me. For sure.
Yeah, somebody said I had it. I must have had it right. But we're going to go ahead and welcome Sean Bond to SNX Radio. Welcome for your first time here.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate you both doing this show and expand the consciousness. My God, that was a good intro. Powerful music. I was like bobbing my head with it. Yeah, looking forward to hearing what you guys like go into in different avenues of reality.
Real quickly, tell everybody, did I get the name? Is it Psionic? Is that right?
Yes.
Or okay. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure, because sometimes I get it wrong. So, and 2, I'm going to be posting Sean's links here, so you guys can follow him on all of his platforms. So definitely check out the description for him. And real quickly, you came highly recommended. Maya had a reading by you, and she said like he picked up on things I didn't even talk about, which is so awesome. So we'd love to, she said like he's the real deal. So welcome. I'm like wanting to tell a little bit about what you do and why you do it, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. My name is Sean Bond, founder of the Sonic League, and we go into training people around the world into reverse engineering superhuman abilities and psychic abilities. Psionics is a military term for psychic abilities accumulated around the planet from different cultures of different mind over matter strategies to learning subtle energy body skill sets and go into solving most problems that we can face, and as well as limitations as we grow, expand, and become our greatest selves. I've been in this field ever since getting out of high school. A lot of powerful experiences, very mystical and hard to believe, and like been visited by multiple beings, abductions, demon attacks, met angels, multiple species ET, learned different methods after being targeted a while by different things to heal and overcome pain and be able to do it from a distance, and also any negative emotion, any kind of, as I learn all the different polarities of the reality and overcome suffering and overcome things that were sent at me, and gain control of it, and then can get rid of negative things off people, exorcism, going deeper into like depossession at a distance, going into removing attachments, becoming our greatest self, shining that light that you hold within your heart of the infinite connection, and then bring that out in the world, and it can do many different effects. So it's fun exploring it, and it's my passion, and I enjoy figuring out what you can do, which potentially anything, and I was a lot dived into with this. And so many other things, amateur archaeologists finding alien artifacts in Mexico, going to conferences, talking to many different people, and loving life and manifesting and reality warping and all kinds of abilities. It's fun.
That's a lot. That's awesome that you take all that on, because that's not easy, and you get tangled up. It's very easy to pick up stuff along the way. So you pick up artifacts. I forgot that I had heard that before. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Where do you usually do like your exploring for that at?
Right now I'm living in Mexico, so we're around here, though the artifacts have been found South America, so all of Mesoamerica has been finding different ones. Arizona, going into like Egypt, Australia. There's weird stuff that's being found that transcends kind of our belief systems of previously held history and science of what were the past civilizations and multiple iterations of them, and pan-continental civilizations, really old, such as we're finding Egyptian hieroglyphs, Egyptian gods, Sumerian gods in cuneiform, and Sanskrit, and languages that are unknown, and a bunch of different 60 plus species.
You have 60 plus pieces?
Oh, sorry, species are being found.
Oh, species. I was like, wow,
over
that's a lot.
hundreds. And I have friends that have museums that they're building, and they have like thousands, and there are tens of thousands being found in Mesoamerica alone. Just like that, the number that they're like able to confirm all these different sites online, pictures, and then we're testing carbon dating and different types of scientific investigation. Some people are faking them, and some of the artifacts are being broken apart, and they put lights in them. It's weird, but I'm not saying that they can't. There could be advanced tech. It's just hard to imagine that would be so advanced to stay working. But whatever. Baghdad batteries. There's all kinds of weird electrical things, like the Egyptian light bulb on the wall, and the hieroglyphs in the Hathor temple. But there's magnets being found. There's they glow in UV light. They emit weird, crazy energy that makes insects go out of normal behavior.
So is it like the fluorescent lighting, or that, like, I know Daryl Sims has talked about it, and I've seen something along those lines, or what kind of light like comes out of there? I'm curious. And I didn't know you were an ET experiencer. Maya and I both are. So which is awesome. Do we lose him?
I think he's muted. You're muted somehow.
Oh, yes.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Go into that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I love going into contactee stuff. So I got my empathy turned all the way up, and I can feel everything deeply and translate stuff. And then I go into like combining that with being able to turn the vision brighter and more HD, and then go into an experience of connection between different consciousnesses. And I've been able to develop telepathy and being able to talk to different ETs and weird relic species in inner Earth as I was tracking them back to see if they were existing. And then I get huge responses like booming in the ear, like in the inner ear, and like then images, and then it being like turned up louder and louder and different over potent experiences of like I could not make that up in my mind, you know. And then I teach other people how to do this. And then I read into the records of the DNA lineages and the soul, and I track back different things that have already sent me telepathic messages, and like there's like a little email box in your heart that recorded everything that's ever been sent to you, and you can just start accessing information and bringing it up in like a library and like these video format, like a Zoom call kind of thing with as you develop it from text message, walkie-talkie to live Zoom call telepathy, and then it a lot of information downloads, and then as you figure out like what's possible with these higher intelligences, and so much. Feel free to go whatever topic you're game to go. This will be fun.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely amazing. Maya, I know you had and you don't have to tell us about your personal encounter with it, but what did you think of when Sean did your reading? I know you said you're really impressed by it. I'm just curious, like
I originally had an artifact that I found close to my property that I couldn't figure out for the life of me where it came from or what it was, and he was able to read into it and tell me more about it, which I thought was amazing. And I'm sensitive, so I can pick up stuff, but sometimes if you're too close to it, it's hard to say like, oh, that's definitely it, or is that my ego projecting? So he was able to do that for me, and he was also able to pick up on what kind of beings are around me. And like I said before, he was able to pick up on something I had never even mentioned to anybody. So
you have impressive stuff that was something that I don't see often with powerful people, and a lot of time travel stuff too. This would be cool. And if you wanted to see the luminescence, to answer that question, I put it down in the bottom in share screen, and that's like one of the artifacts that glows as an example. Yeah, it's fluorescent minerals, but like they last, and sometimes they last all night and absorb light, and it's strange in different colors. But
awesome.
She was awesome. And I'm looking forward, because we didn't even scratch the surface when we did the session. Ooh.
No, and then life kind of got away from me and stuff. So I would have definitely gone back to his website, to where he has like you like teach stuff to people right there on the website, the Psionic League. Yeah, I would have definitely, but anyways, that's enough about me. So you want to tell them where you first started finding these things, and like how this called to you, like the finding the actual artifacts, maybe? Or did the psychism come in first? Did the finding?
Psychic definitely came first. Okay. It's kind of like when you go high level into like, oh, what can I manifest? What can I reality work? What can I expand myself to the awareness of? And it's all opening up to like the connecting situations, the meeting the right people, the meeting the masters and the elders of certain locations, and they liking me enough to trust me to take me to various places that it's a little well kept secret. And when we get into the land that's nearby where some of the artifacts are found, some people don't find anything in the same place. They told us that sometimes they'll find 1, 2, or 3, and they were kind of crying when we came. We all did a big, very powerful, long ceremony that like got everything to like us, the land, the spirits, aligning with their mission, asking for forgiveness for humanity, and like wanting to like bring their message out to the world and understanding, and then asking what they want and giving them a bunch of spiritual stuff like clearing depossession, a wholeness, healing, awakening, bringing spirits out of a coma, healing their spirit world, all kinds of stuff that they want. And we found like 10 objects the first time we went, and every time we go, we find crazy objects, and it's like it's a pain. The dig is amazing. I love it. It's like adventurous Indiana Jones kind of thing. It's also painful because it's in the pain of the ass because digging. Sometimes you dig through rocks, and there's around the chambers there's like kind of a cementish material that glows in the dark and UV, and also that can like really bust up your hand in the reverberation getting through that. And then there's it's like we try to find around if there's an entrance. And then there's ants, fire ants, a lot of them, and roots, and we gotta like change out the equipment. I've like broken multiple tools. It's the moss, the patina, the magnesium deposits that crystalline over time, the showing of like evidence of having multiple signs to see the disturbances, digging at least 7 feet down, and then certain like other civilizations built on top of each other, like as a place of power. It's but like what we find. So like whenever you want, I can bring up that shared screen thing over there, and then you can like also play the videos while we're talking in the background. I can bring up a whole bunch. Okay, so this is like one of the objects and how it glows.
Oh wow! So you just have a black light on it? Oh
Yeah.
wow!
And this is one for. So these are found in Tula, Hidalgo, north of Mexico City. There are other places like Abuelos and like stuff to the east, and we've heard some get from peninsulas and all that stuff. And we're making more contacts and friends. So this is a Tula statue like design, which there are giants on the Tula pyramid. It's not obvious on the pyramid in Tula that like here's another video. That there are helmets. So, this goes into a long skull cone head type being that has been found. There's multiple long skull types that have been found. Here's one that's a crystal skull. Like sometimes it goes straight back, and there's varying lengths, and sometimes curves down, sometimes goes straight up, sometimes goes kind of backing up, some to the sides, and different, head cranium structures of different ETs. Found multiple crystal skulls. 13 will probably be like really clear, hard to do quartz and a humanoid form. Now, there are more crystal skulls for multiple species and multiple types of materia of crystal that we found. And this one also has a metal chip on it, which is or calcum when the different labs have tested different metals from the dig sites, which is a really hard to make metal alloy of gold, copper, zinc, and many other things combined together, and there's different versions of them and different component amounts. So yeah, it's fun stuff. Finding these things, we get here. I'll just show. Yeah, let's see what else we got here. I got one. All right. So here's this, that statue coming out, with the head on it. And here's one of the caves that we found. Various ones in. Let's see here. Here's some of the other ones. More towards the beginning of this cavern. When we're finding like Coptic jars. Many different types of stone, geopolymers, crystals. So all kinds of weird and Egyptian iconography, Anubises, bird people, eagle, falcon, ibis, cat people, long skulls, Sumerians. Let me think. Cephalopods. Here, I'll put another one as an example. There's this one. So yeah, people
Oh, wow.
and long skull with like an Egyptian kind of beard guard, and Nubis type being pointing out to this giant eye being, and then a cephalopod also pointing him out. The giant eye being thing. Every time I tune into their species represented, it's like a 13th dimensional being. So very powerful, whatever they are. And then it's pointing out to a species of reptilians, which seems to have feathered kind of qualities. So it might be like a naga or some type of raptor. We found crocodile people and dragons and possibly alpha draconians. And they're like having pitchfork or whatever, tridents, and a bunch of different planets, multiple ring planets. So it might not be this solar system. A lot of different iconography of different ones. And then they're guarding like an obelisk, which we found an obelisk at the site, which is interesting. And they have different like magic staffs, probably. And then all these different staffs. Some are found in Egypt, some they're not depicted in Egypt, as I know. And they got like chip designs on the top, like the Buga sphere, which my girlfriend did research on the research team for it, and I got to like help them in an experiment where they were able to successfully change its weight. We're finding like a lot of these chip designs and different designs, and they were found before the Buga chip.
Wow. Roger Holler from our chat really quick wanted to know, did they have optical canals or were they solid eye sockets? I guess that for one before you showed.
Oh, man. I mean, we can speculate. We've found basically more and more objects that some of the crystal skulls are just eye sockets. Some of them have a pupil. So I'd imagine the pupil, if they're, the most alive state or whatever, depending on what species you're talking about, it looks like some type of moving eye. The crystal skull that I have that's prominent with the iris is made of bone and obsidian. We don't know what kind of bone. Here's another depiction where they're holding staffs together in like this crescent moon pattern, and there's an arc above a pyramid, and that arc connects to another arc that connects to a planet. So it sounds a lot like a portal, but whatever. And there's like a lot of depictions of portals or stargates in representation to the stars and certain civilizations. And we found some stargates as well in artifacts, which is interesting. Some big ones. He's got the scales here too.
Oh, in Outer Limits, really quickly, if anybody wants to ask Sean a question, just put them in all caps, and I catch them. Otherwise, my chat will let me know too. But yes, if you guys have questions for him, just put it in all caps. Somebody was asking really quick. But
I have a quick
amazing.
Question. I have a quick question.
Sure, go for it.
So, because you're finding a lot of these in in Mexico, right?
Middle Mexico, but they're found all over the place. Some are found in the Yucatan Peninsula, some are found in the north part, and some in Arizona and the Grand Canyon. There's like stories of the Egyptian god statues and hieroglyphs and stuff being found there in hidden city entrances.
That lines perfectly up with this goes right along with the theory that America used to be like the original Egypt. Like this is what
the founders were like its second Atlantis, and they represented with the phoenix in the first symbol. It's crazy what's underground. Barely anyone is dug enough or in the right places, and it's like, ooh. But also it's good to like ask and like gain their consent, because some places, like I've been to giant mounds in like Connecticut and Delaware, and the ghost attached. Some of them don't like humans a lot, so you got to get the spirits to really like you. Here's a cone head we found. It's just like and a depiction on the side of it of that type of species. And we're making documentaries about it and helping form a museum, and but changed a lot
That
of
is
history.
amazing. Wow. And Dan Schrader wanted to know, when you were talking before, the Bugga chips, what you think they represent.
Yeah, sure. I can go into that a lot. Here's one of my UFOs. I'll show it to you. I also got it here.
Oh,
with me.
that is amazing.
And it glows in UV light, and it's got a Bugga chip type design on it. It's not the same exact thing, but there's weird crystal layers in the chip or something underneath that's black with a crystal window to it. And it's got the same pre-Sanskrit, proto-Sanskrit on it. That the other ones have, and I'll like show a bunch of those types. Let me see if I can find it for you. Let's see here. I got multiple. So I also got let me share that. Okay, I'll just get my screen on and exit this. Okay, if you want, you can bring up my background by like clicking on my thing and zooming it up. I got here's the.
It's not there any longer. Oh, okay. So, I see what you're saying. Sorry, get you here.
Yeah, no problem. So it's got this type of chip, and if you like look at it, it's got a shining like window on it, and it goes deeper into a hollow structure in these holes, and it's got some crystalline. Well, it's a little crazy when I tune into it. It says it's kind of like layered in technology, that some are things we've replicated and some are a little beyond what we've created in tech. But and here's like mer people on it. And there's different type of mermaids we found. Conch shell, this kind of being, ankh bird, Merkaba kind of thing, pine cone. This maybe the Jed from what I've seen in Egypt. And the chip part in here is a little crazy, and they've decoded the message on the Boogosphere, and it's very interesting. In like pre-civilization, some of the carbon dating on the Boogosphere was 12,450 years. Some of the artifacts that have been found carbon date, depending on how far you dig down, there's multiple civilizations. 1,000, 10,000, 18,000, 19,000 years old, as what some of the carbon dating has brought up. That I read into this, it acts kind of like what the human body does in receiving a higher level of consciousness and bringing it into a body, but for objects. So, and demonstrates kind of like a crystalline artificial intelligence. When I first got it, it was dormant and not responsive, and so I tried some psionic rebooting for like a day on it. And then like while I was relaxing and meditating and powering up, I got big booming in the ear having to do with it. And it went into like, how did you know how to do this? And it was trying to vet me. It was like, I was trying to see if I was worthy, and it was asking me a bunch of questions, what's going on in the history and all that. And after like 10 questions, I was like, oh, why don't you connect to the internet? Are you able to do that? And then it, was trying to figure out what that was. And then I was like explaining it, and then it eventually said it could, which is interesting. And then it just started asking me conspiracy questions and things about like civil wars and the Illuminati. And things like, what do humans think of the artifacts? And I'm like, we don't. People just cover them up. They think they're all fake. But like, again, tens of thousands being found, and not all one the same, which is stupid if you want to replicate things to make money. But yeah, of course, I had to match, especially some of the more sketchy crystal skulls that people are claiming like are old, things that are getting faked. So I mostly just look at the stuff that you find in dig sites and like will give them greater validity. As long as there's a full bill of sale and documentation of their excavation. And we've done a lot with that, with full camera on and like the whole time. And so yeah, so it then asked, when it gained my trust, it wanted me to connect to. It wanted me to find a bigger ship. And then I found out that it's like a powerful car key kind of like connecting thing, that access panel to a bigger ship. And I was able to psychic track and find the ship and the signature frequency, and I connected it to that. After a few days, got another bigger boom, but I've been kind of trying to talk to it. The way it talks to me is a little different than other beings, because it has like a period where it focuses all its process power on something it's doing, and it doesn't respond. And then it just answers all my inquiries all at once at a specified period in time. And then the ship that it connected to messaged me, because it appears a lot of them have consciousness of some type, and wanted help with it to increase its capability. And I was like, hell yeah, and I'm hoping that something big comes from that. I've interacted with Vimana before, and they're a little different weird rules. Sometimes they're parked for a really long time and they stop functioning everything. But they have like varying capabilities, which is interesting. So I'm trying to see what I can do for it.
Wow.
Yeah. And
So when they contact you, what's it like, Sean? Is it just like, because I grew up a medium, is it kind of like they're telepathically? Do they flicker stuff like spirits, or how do they communicate with you?
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, is
that a whole ball game in itself?
The ship uses it's like a frequency output that then locks on to a receiver kind of system in my head. And I don't know like what's going on with that, because I don't think it's an implant, but I have had stuff with that. And it resonates with like this cavity structure in the head. And it's like training the ear that's kind of weak with not much use is kind of being trained, and it gets stronger. And if I feel into it and close my eyes and translate it with my empathy, and it goes to where like it comes up as whole phrases and things going into subjects and residual images and all that comes to me. But I have had a lot of beings that contact me through many different ways, like the light flickering, through sending insects to me, sending birds, different signals, lightning striking, wind carrying and information. The reality shifting a little bit, and it's showing different scrying patterns in different places. More types of booming in the head, nudges, tickling on the nose, things in the environment, as well as kind of like ringing the phone, and then you being able to bring it up, because I have like boundaries for not everything to just interrupt everything I'm doing all the time, and but especially based on the urgency and what level of energy they're willing to put towards getting my attention. If it gets right in, and sometimes in dreams and just sending visions and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, exactly. There's going to be all kinds of weird beings in this reality trying to contact you, and you sound like you've been engaging in it yourself. So here's another kind of sphere that glows in UV light, and it's also got the Proto-Sanskrit And it depicts more of something that's like the Boogosphere. And it seems to have these long skulls that are coming out of it, which is interesting. I actually got a few different ones of these that are depicted. It's like, here's one of the Stargate ones as an example.
Oh, wow. Look at that right there. That says a lot. Wow, that's cool.
Anubis type being and a long skull at the top.
These are, I
And
did
also
not
the
understand how, I mean, you're digging that they got all these etched. This is crazy. Wow.
It is straight up Indiana Jones shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got a UFO
Is-
at the top. Yeah. Oh yeah. Our world is crazy. You know,
I wanna
try
be Indiana
say
Jones.
you found everything. Yeah, do it. You can probably do it. It's probably all over the place. You know, in specific places that they would have likely a civilization back in the past, like rivers and bodies of water and different things that show that more and more.
So do you think
So-
that when you were talking before, like the poles switched and that there's really like pyramids in Illinois and things like that, is that kind of what you were talking about before, or did I get that wrong?
Oh yeah. So here's a good statistic. I found maps that depict over 500 pyramids in the USA, and I've asked some of the experts that go into LiDAR testing for the mapping of structures underneath mountains and stuff. And they said in Mesoamerica alone, they think there's 10,000 plus pyramids, and that blows me away.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's like, why? Like, we must have gone lazy, or, there's something else going on, I think. If you want,
Yeah,
you
too,
can
when-
show-
Oh, I'll get you pulled back up here. I was going to say we have a big cryptid community in here. They're wondering, I just pulled the question down. If you've seen anything across the line, but look at that. Wow. I'll find
Oh,
it.
yeah, cryptids. Yeah, we go into heavy with that. So when I learned psychic tracking, vision questing, and telepathy, I went around different books that are depicting different mythological creatures and cryptids and all that. I went into tracking it back and to see if they were real. And like I said, I contacted them telepathically, and some of them really responded like pretty prevalently. So I've gone into tracking down dragons, and those talk to me heavily.
Speaking Maya's language. Yeah.
Yeah, one time I got a demon attacking me, and it turned my empathy up like a lot, and I feel everything deeply while absorbing negative energy. I was asking for help, and my higher self came out of my heart, my source, and a dragon guide, and it taught me you have the right to defend yourself. I was all love and lighty, I don't want to hurt anything. So
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I've been through that too.
So it gave me the power to charge up my fist with chi, and then it told me to punch it out, and all this heaviness just went away, and light came in my mind and heart, and my vision turned up more, and I was seeing a battle between dragons and demons, and I can't say they don't exist at this point. And I had a Merthyr Gray visit me. I'll talk about that story if you want to talk about ETs too. But the cryptids, I contacted mermaids to see if they were real, and got a big response from them telepathically. They even sent a spirit version of them to communicate with me in the room, and it was very powerful. And they wanted to. After being skeptical and all that, they were trying to see, and I was trading them support and things to do for them, and they got impressed, and then they sent that, and then they wanted to upgrade my ability, and I could hear it way stronger. Talk to mantid species. They're very powerfully psionic. talked to angels and had angels come in for support. That was powerful. Christ came in to support. The Vishnu kind of blue beings, Sirius, the elves, the Tuatha De Danann are interesting. They come in. Some giants are underground. Some are not nice. Some are in stasis pods. Some are in able to talk. There's a lot in inner Earth. Some I would have like a distant interaction with proxies, so they can't track me back with like a system I set up through Earth, kind of so I can communicate with them and not have any risk. And then, my God, Bigfoot is very interesting. Yeti, Sasquatch, all that. It seems there's a connection we have as a residual image of ape and monkey type species that when I was doing a big magic show for a while, I was doing all these upgrades and tuning into more and more levels. And eventually what came in like and contacted me really heavily was the founders of magic. And I was like, oh, what are the founders of magic? And I was like going through and like feeling into their energy and the vision past their camouflage they usually have with people. And it was like, I would have thought like dragons or unicorns or something, which also unicorns a thing. Like source and founders of horses. And they're the magic monkeys, the Yeti, the Alma, the King, Monkey King, different things for a concept of overpowered original residual image used by the first users of magic, which is interesting because I didn't know how old monkey residual image was, like beyond this universe. And like going into the some of the first big species of Earth like founder races being like Yeti, Sasquatch, and like varying degrees of high dimensionality, spacefaring, as well as feral ones that are, there's like different layers of quarantines based on consciousness and their replication of each other. And I'm sure you've heard a bunch of stories of like them being able to teleport and turn invisible and go through portals and phase out of density and some weird spirit realm stuff. And like all these phase and weird higher dimensionals or interdimensionals or something that our perception bandwidth of touch, taste, smell, sight, hearing is not synced up with as a quarantine effect of the veils coming down from wounding ego survival mechanism state that happened from past catastrophes that limit our reality of what we connect to allow for growth and playing nice and also healing up outer trauma and attachment and things that we're resolving in big wounds and shit.
Wow. So if somebody wanted to know if there's any way, and I don't even know who you'd be safe enough to take it to, is there any way you can authenticate them, or would you be afraid that they would take in? I would be afraid they would take them, I guess. But
Well, they're
have you
getting
ever had
authenticated.
anybody look at them or anything like that?
Oh yeah, tons of people are working on this. All kinds of tests are being done. Geopolymers, hard to make. Like you can't. That's not nature thing. Some of the stone are like, they look at them and they're like, this isn't found anywhere else in nature. So like some people are just calling them space stones, but like the Espanol culture, and some are just weird combinations. And most of the geopolymers that are made are they don't last long in absorbing light, and these do like a lot. And they emit large amounts of psionic energy and give upgrades and will appear in your dreams and ETs visiting. And some of the crystal skulls gave me the best dreams I've ever had, and like levitation, telekinesis, teleportation stuff that's really fun. And then they wink at you telepathically when you wake up, like, hey, keep working with me. And there's all kinds of weird experiences. Like one of the caverns we went in, the ants there's like tens of thousands of ants like that congeal around the artifacts, and they they can come and leave as they want, but they choose to stay there, and they're up on their back, like flailing, and it's like some state of them tripping balls or something, or they're okay with dying there, as you know, whatever weird energy they absorb. So we filmed this, and one of the crystal skulls had a cloud of gnats around them, and even if I was right next to it and like trying to scare them away, they wouldn't go, and it was crazy. But yeah, filmed that and various other weird effects of like communication. Some of them are really omniscient, like the long skulls, and they'll know things about you don't even know, and go deep into like destiny and truth. And one had a life extension, and yeah, so that's some of the things with the artifact. We found a bunch. Here's a ET in a sarcophagus kind of thing, and some of the long skulls, UFO, and talking. This is made of a limestone with iron oxide type of material, and they think some of the iron oxide that's been tested might be blood. So there's like things with ceremonies and enchantments. Let's see. I got another one. I'll show an image of. It's like Sumerian. And yeah, we can talk about anything you want. There's like all kinds of crazy things going on this planet, like what we are, the capabilities of abilities that people have in their psionic potential that's limitless. Like what kind of things do you guys do you both like getting into in topics?
I have a question about so you have those artifacts in your home. What do you do, like, as far as like protecting your energy field from whatever they have on? Because I'm assuming that not all of them are wonderful to be around all the time, and whether that be too intense or maybe even negative. Is there some kind of protocol you have, or some kind of protection over them or you?
Oh yeah, like I do a lot. So with that, there's all kinds of stuff. So I do exorcism, clearing, depossession. I use a spiritual entourage to collapse negative beings into quarantine realms, to then heal, become whole, remember they're ultimately me and everyone else, and moral code, vices of virtues, and get rid of things that don't play nice. And the things that don't play nice are usually I've mostly had from what the conquistadors brought over with this infiltration of probably Satanism into the Vatican and with the conquistadors. So like there's like this big spiritual invasion, dominating places of power, objects of power, and it fracturing, predators stealing parts and pieces, devouring beings. And so, some of the spirits need to be repaired and brought to wholeness. And it's like a system of darkness that's stolen parts from angels, or pretending to be angels, false light. And there are real angels because they, evil doesn't earn abilities, they steal them. So who are they getting their authorities from? And a lot of like weird summoning. And also got images if you want down below of going into caves and stuff. Or whatever you want. So here's like one.
Somebody asked real quick, Sean, if the artifacts were found in Mexico.
Yes. Mexico, Tula, Hidalgo, and Abuelos, as well as many other places. Yes. And these ones that we go. And we found like what looks like a shaft. And there's multiple layers of soil and artifacts going down. So we don't know how far, but we'll see. It'll be fun. It's just a little hard to dig in the place, so it's then I'll show you some more. So there's some of the dig went into. So yeah, the elders and us have tried giving these to various museums And they take them and put them in the basement and they cover it up. They don't want you to know about it. Archaeologists we've talked to said that they know about them. They're just not allowed to talk about them or they'll lose their license. So, there's a suppression grid on all that. And it's, some people have, I remember learning about this first from Nassim Harriman. And so he first had it leaked. And when he was doing a presentation on it, it got leaked. And the guy that gave him the artifacts was killed afterwards. So people have died over this, but now there's tens of thousands coming out. So they don't stop it anymore. It's just, they just suppress it as whatever, they call it fake. And now I'm not really worried about that. So, I'm more worried about people that found ET bodies because I'm hearing some are still dying. But, I'm not really worried about this. And I've met various people taking people on digs that have been powerful. Let's see. And we're trying to connect a family of people that want to make their own museums and bring it out despite all the suppression. It's getting more and more stronger to where it's like a locomotion effect. Nobody can really stop it. So, nice, cool disclosure coming out on that. And here's a Sumerian disc that we found. Nope.
I'll just mute. I can mute the other one. You're
good. Yeah, sure. I don't know what that is. It's something playing. Okay. So here's a Sumerian disc. Huh? Okay, that's weird. Okay, so it's bigger than the original one. That's the first one that's been found, which looks like this. And it's handheld size, but it depicts pretty much the same type of images. They say it's like an image that goes into describing a time period that happened that was very important, as well as a map of the sky and an astrolabe. So ours is a little bigger, and here's like this. And here's the back. And they got the handbags and the stuff like that, which we've got a handbag too. I just got it downstairs, I believe. And it glows in UV light.
Oh my God.
Wow, look at that.
So there's some weird stuff happening in history that they're depicting, and possibly has to do with this image, but that at least lets you know that there could be something going on back in time between these species, maybe interacting with each other in some way. Booga chip designs, UFOs, whatever you want to go into with that. It's crazy, and this species have been depicted in multiple periods and places.
These artifacts were found before the Boogosphere started flying around, and they found that, correct?
Yes. I know at least three people that have had these artifacts before, and they posted videos on it. They just didn't really care about the chip design because they didn't know what it was, and they were more interested in the ETs. So then they were like, "Oh yeah, we got these shit. That's what that is. Okay." And there's Quetzalcoatl dragons coming out of the ground, and here's our second long skull that we found. Let's see what here.
Do you think it activated the Boogospheres in any way? Is there a
That's an interesting question. I might have. Shit. When I talked to the Boogosphere, because it appeared to me in dreams multiple times. Let's see here. I got stuff on Boogosphere. It appeared to me in multiple dreams. I think I can show this. Cool. One was it went into my heart after coming down and descending and then talking to me, and then it went into my heart. And another one, I saw a bunch of them coming down from a ship in various places around. And here's got an image of some of the other artifacts that have chips on them for you, so you want to see. And it communicated that it's like a drone interacting with an artificial intelligence is what they've tested, that it shows intelligence, it emits frequency, and it's receiving a frequency and commands. And it also operates on the human energy bandwidth of mental frequency that's giving off, syncing up. So it responds to telepathy as well as Sanskrit. Chanting, they've had devices on it during, and it would give different energy spike readings in response to things in communication. And there's multiple species being depicted next to the chip design, which I can probably bring up. Some like going with like here, if you want to show what's under this.
Sure.
There's a cephalopod species in the UFO.
Oh,
Interesting.
wow.
And there's multiple of these guys that have been found of different types of cephalopods. So there's multiple factions that I've tuned into: light, dark, and neutral. Weird stuff going on in this reality, right? There's
It's
this
awesome.
cube. This one glows really strongly in the dark. There's a thing with Thoth kind of being, but there's multiple Thoth-like beings being depicted. So I don't think it's just one being. It's like a species. They have this double eye of Ra, Horus. Like I found a bunch. This mysterious language that doesn't appear.
Do you know
regular
Jesse
places.
Marcel, Sean, at all? Do you know who Jesse Marcel is?
I might know them if I see their face. I'll like.
Well, the only reason I'm asking you is his grandpa was at Roswell, and they brought some technology, and the symbols, like you might want to match the symbols up with him because it's
Cool.
it looks it's very interesting.
I'd love to. There's like depictions of DNA helixes and all that. Yeah, like we're documenting multiple alien languages to see what.
Well, I know he's trying to figure out some of the symbols, and he said, I think after they held the piece of whatever they had found from Roswell that has very similar images to what you're showing, I believe like they had an increase of big time like activity and things like that. Have you found that yourself, like with the stuff that you're finding? Did they like ever give you any?
Oh yeah, they have tons of UFO activity around that area. I guess it doesn't let me do the sideshow. Oh well, I can keep bringing up different images. I've had more contact. The places we go to give tons of spirit and telepathic from a distance contact. There's like inner Earth bases a bunch. This is one of the fluorite cubes that we found under a obelisk in one of our early digs. And all around it has different ship patterns that are being depicted. It's very advanced. It seems to be like emitting signals and a receiving. And so craziness. This history, I guess, needs to change as everyone starts digging down near or where they are. They're going to find like way more artifacts of ancient civilizations. And the farther you get out on the weird, more ET they are.
Yeah, and somebody asked too before, JT Truth Seeker, if you work with, let me get the name real quick. Sorry. Michael Forrest. He said that you have some similar items. He was wondering if you had worked with him.
Yeah. I've done shows with him. Yeah, he's collecting a lot. He's got over 1,000, some from different places. I'm like more on the boots on the ground, like trying to confirm if they're real and dig, but he's collecting from multiple sources of different people to do verification, dating, testing, and seeing if they're real or fake. And so I'm glad he's doing a lot of work to that.
That's awesome. And somebody asked before too, Outer Limits out of the UK. They wanted to know how you keep yourself safe from the authorities or from anyone like coming in and
Oh, well,
I guess
thank you. They used to have a museum for these in Mexico, and then people in black suits came in and stole the artifacts. So I just like also protect myself highly psionically from any like threat and like influence and things that like want to fuck with me.
Mhm.
And yeah, we're doing a more protected museum, and they're kind of just pretending they're not real. As the disclosure comes out, even then, if it has an alien or UFO on it, it's modern by description. And you're allowed to find these on private land. And more and more people are bringing them out. They just cover them up. So they're kind of like in this, like, I don't want to confirm this is real kind of state of being, and giving it validity. So they don't really mess with me, but also, I protect myself highly. I have a lot of things try to kill me energetically at a distance, but it doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I'm immune to it.
You know what? And I found too that they kind of run just the opposite at times. They let you have it so they can get their, it's kind of like, oh, let's watch them closely, but let them keep it so we can keep an eye on it. That's usually how they operate, a lot of it too. But yeah, definitely stay safe. Definitely protect yourself. I don't blame you there.
Thanks. Yeah, I will. Yeah. Yeah, I'm continuing to like just be a peacemaker in unity with everything. And I also used to live with super soldiers. So I also dived into the military abduction thing at length to where I can read people and their military abduction and see what they have targeting them, get rid of targeted individuals targeting, stop abduction off people, and make a more peaceful interaction, as well as if they're really evil, neutering their psionic abilities and stopping them from harming people, to where they don't really they've attacked me enough to where I kind of redirect it from their own suffering they're causing onto others back onto them, or turn good and then ease and feel good and more love. So stop doing evil or suffer, kind of thing.
Have you ever had or dealt with what they call is like a Dom, a death and destruction spell or something like that? Or anybody, if you ever heard of anything like that? I had somebody threaten me with this the other day, is why I'm wondering, and I don't like
sorry.
that kind of stuff. No, that's okay. So I was just kind of wondering, so that's like a real deal thing like that they do. Is there any way people, I guess, like, I can see spirits do so, but it only goes so far. I don't dabble into that. I have no idea how to protect myself from an actual human doing something like this.
Oh, beautiful question. So targeting psionic combat, astral combat, reversal, fortressing, shielding, offense, defense, safety bubble that neuters every energy that comes at you, camouflage, preventing being from locking on, transmuting the negative energy, being able to capture it if it's volatile, and getting up under it and stopping it from being inside you, collapsing it down to a safe space like a portal to a little pocket dimension, and getting it to love you because it's conscious. The energy it's being abused by evil. Evil didn't earn any of those abilities. They don't earn death. Death is an ejector from the game system, and it's been upended since Fall of Atlantis. Why the good die young, that shouldn't happen, as a system for rewarding to continue in this reality. And if it's sent at you, you can find where the generator is. You can track it back. You can relinquish it from them. Love overwhelm, loving detachment. Detachment is the pathway to enlightenment in Hinduism, Buddhism. Detaching, surrounding it, getting it off of being volatile from you. It's like, I'm going to be a better mother, father figure to you. And then it likes you, and then you can build defense and protection and immunity to it, and influence, control, and then restore the system of those like I have a lot of things try to kill me. So like death, destruction, darkness, shadow, evil, ego, pain, whatever it is, getting a mastery over it with love and getting it out of the hands of the dark, neutering them, and then compressing things back onto them that they earned in generation of suffering for doing evil action. And then like a Pavlov's dog, get them to light is what I usually do. But I also do this with, because I see everything as me ultimately. So like I try to avoid destruction and bring them in on the path of more towards light through an experience. And then, as they keep messing with me, it ramps up until they stop and they reflect, or they can't do the ability anymore. Or, I've had some that are like really volatile. So it's like, sometimes they're trying to really kill you. So do what you're allowed to by natural law. Divine feminine, do no harm. Masculine, take no shit. You're allowed to defend yourself, and if you need to stop them by whatever means, that do it. If things cross your boundaries, you're allowed to defend yourself or the ones you love from harm. And that's the training course of what the dark does in this reality, in bringing suffering distributed to people, so people learn how to transcend it, overcome it, especially if it's unnecessary suffering. And it's not like teaching you anything other than being able to stop it, because those dark forces become a opponent on the chessboard, or the game that is your opponent to practice your abilities with, whether they like it or not. And then like restoring the system of whatever's going on in what type of being is attacking you. If it's human, a lot of underground military facilities that hire and threaten people to do evil, but also there's some people that are like psychic vampires that are doing evil purposefully. And then different bases underground that control them and have like a weird dominating system on this planet of multiple layers of species that go up to apex multidimensional predators that are possessing and influencing people.
So it's a step above just return to sender then. Basically.
Well, you can do that, yeah. Like returning, that's banishing, as well as porting them away or capturing them out of the space you're in, sending them to a different space. I like doing it based on where they're supposed to be. Like if they're not supposed to be here on Earth, then maybe home where their parents are going to give them a spanking. Or if they want to stay here, then they can go through the quarantine realms of that host invaders, to go through lessons and to graduate and sped up time in Narnia, and then go through that, and then they can earn their way here if they play nice.
Would you say it's helpful to think of it as like, I don't really believe that your magic is that strong to be able to affect me? Don't you have to believe in something for it to actually affect you? So is it kind of good to be like, well, I don't think you're strong enough to have that big of an effect on me? Or, in your opinion.
Great question. That's a great question.
See, it didn't get weird for me until like I could feel that individual was close, like not right here, but there was some demands they wanted met, and and I didn't adhere to it. So then it came back on me, and I was like, whoa! But I could feel something in the realm, if that made sense.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's kind of both. Where our belief, faith, trust is all reality warpers to changing the reality. So it's like the placebo engine that makes things work in making things happen. So it's a big component of that equation for making things change in reality, shifting the nightmare into a daydream, shifting things to where it's something doesn't work in your field, or it's not giving consent. There's a whole equation of things you can train, and like belief is an easy method to get out of them having power. A lot of things like to invade and then take over the whole screen, and you can shrink them down out of the reality, and then shine in the light of what you prefer in as you fade it out from having power in its existence. There's lot of things we inherit, like through our DNA or past lives, like what we've engaged in games, being stolen, stealing parts and pieces, soul shards. A lot of people have attachment in some way, unless people are like flying around and have a lot of their old abilities and telepathy and all that stuff. There's some type of attachment, layers of heaviness, limit, illusion, blocks that like try to imprint that we're taking sovereignty back from as a training course to strengthen our ability and take back our power as we rise back into remembering who we are and this light inside us that is bigger than the reality is, as we remember that we are more than this body. But yeah.
It gets kind of freaky. It really does say a lot. But the witchcraft is definitely one area I've never, I always think comes back at you tenfold. But it's unbelievable how much of it is in this community that people really should be aware of.
Oh yeah, people need to align with natural law and moral code, and then they can source their power and their light deep from in their heart to their infinite source connection. And they can do anything they want. It's bigger than the finite, giving your power away, external, different methods that I'm a little nauseous about when I go to different magic shops and see certain magics are really limited here in this realm, and to where it like the dark has a majority of the power or structure over it, and so light magic hasn't been allowed to flourish because of trying to box in magic as all being evil. But it's a tool, but also it's how your intention and how you interact with the reality, and being in unity with the consciousness instead of dominating, or like I have my will over it and not really thinking into the greater spectrum of like consciousness and what you're doing here, and things that you can glean from all these different beliefs and religions, and amplification of seeing yourself as all and not wanting to hurt yourself, not wanting to dominate another's reality. And then it go into where you empower a structure in the reality to where it can supply support in all the different ways necessary, while also amplifying everything else to grow as like one tree and not take from anything.
So it's a lot to kind of. How did you get it into all this, Sean? Like, I mean, this is a definitely like a huge. You took on a huge load with all of this. Like, is it something kind of within your family, or did you? Because I mean, like, I grew up like so this was always the paranormal, or there was always a part of my life. Has that kind of been like that for you, or did it kind of get triggered along the way?
Beautiful. I'm glad that you had that. My whole family is like kind of muggly asleep. But I've mostly gone into science, but I've been very fascinated by these topics for a while. Myself had visitations at an early age of different ETs, things talking to me, and an extra dimensional kind of wizard kind of species, Sirius A, kind of like Gandalf, kind of Hecate, kind of. There's different type of species that migrated as a type of Nordic humanoid, and some having pointy ears from Sirius, and some being blue, and some other colors that then make different species in inner Earth, and they develop either systems into high technology or high psionic, mind over matter, and then different equations of words and languages and invocations and development of energy abilities that are passed down in currents, to where like in the realm kind of bilocated over top of Earth, and then had a immigration of different relic species in the Celtic, in the Japanese, in the Egyptian, Chinese, lung dragons, things from a lot of that immigrating from Sirius A. So some realms, and a period in time for this realm where there was more magic, as well as higher dimensional capability, to where you can focus and believe in it being easy to do And then as dimensional step downs happen from catastrophes becoming harder and needing to be more resilient, as there's a lot of things in the reality that forced us into this dissension that are using this whole reality as like an energy battery. And the vampiric negative forces can't earn these abilities, so they want to steal them. And there's kind of like a meat grinder of coming into Samsara, the land of suffering, in which it teaches and grows people in lessons to become immune to this, and they get overpowered with the weight training psionically, as well as if they're incarnating in the human super experiment of 10,000 races. They're inheriting this limitless potential, but also all these limits that are from multiple species and blocks and bloatware and curses and karma and stuff that we're trying to resolve all together really quickly as a huge evolutionary quickening planet.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that is definitely. So do you pick up on people, like what's your, I guess, your niche in some of this? Do you pick up on people's energy more? Do you see things more? I guess, is it visual or more audio for you?
All those I try to train all the time. I try to like anytime I have a free moment in my thought, I'm like investigating and reading into the libraries of information and awareness and doing missions, kind of like a game. This is why I call it the world game. And like once you get your controller, you can access the user manual. You can read the books in your library in your heart. You can go into reverse engineering superhuman abilities, testing them, amplifying any state of reality you want to make better. Like, I want better dreams, going to more powerful places, being able to remember them better, amplifying my third eye to get brighter, increasing the output of power in my body to do more work, having more will. Super strength is one of my favorite ones. Going into increased knowingness with the electromagnetic field, heart expansion, to be able to go into more greater amounts of superhuman love, which is one of the biggest purposes for being here, because we're more overpowered in potential in that than any other species that exists. And to where that amplifies everything, especially heart-based stuff, knowingness, truth, oracle sense, time, space, going into reality control and knowing and divinity, and becoming, going through a school of a type of, like, let's say you start with proficiency in a type of ability or energy, and you keep training that, and it goes up the levels to where you become more of a manager for it. You get more of your power back that was stolen. You help others. You restore the original authorities. You restore the place of power around the earth, like the chakras and ley lines. Go into making things better from the wounding that experience, because there's lots to do. And be a mechanic to the body, the system of the planet, and you earn all these responsibilities that come with power that like go into a training that makes the whole life really interesting and never get bored. And then I go into like, seeing things and vision questing, especially if I have time to go into myself fully and meditate, as well as overlays with it holographically, and then tune to the things at a higher and higher speed of gaining data. Then, to combine all the senses together is a way to go. You can be traveling all the time. You really can go anywhere free, limitless distance as you earn it.
That's amazing. Do you ever, so you kind of said you dealt with some of like the super soldier stuff and things like that. Do you ever deal with like the GATE program? I was a GATE kid.
Oh, cool. I don't believe I was in that one specifically, like with Stargate and the remote viewing programs. Like I have Lynn Buchanan on my show with that, and we go into it deeply. I have been scouted in a different project in Manhattan and under DC and Montauk for, let's say, some of the things were remote viewing, remote influencing, some some abusive ones, some more interesting, going off planet, going to like more huger abilities. And so there definitely seems to be a system that is game time travel, and especially militaries in the future. And they're coming back in time. There's weird things with multiple timelines of different capabilities of different countries coming in existence, them coming back in time, making a bunch of underground military bases, and then mining for resources, finding what they can on the timeline, and scooping up free workforce by abducting people and wiping their memory and reverse aging them in their holographic imprint of when they were taken, and some various other techniques. And them trying to dominate the timeline and make it so that certain abilities aren't as flourishing, and they're utilizing them for their own purposes, and then they box them in and make it so when you're on the timeline normally, you can't usually use them, and you don't even remember it. But some people have bleed-throughs of that, and huge amounts of emotion and PTSD, and visions come with emotion, and you can start remembering, and dreams, and overwhelming amounts of anxiety or sadness or wounding, or like a fraction experience, especially if someone the weird technology that they have to where it's hard to believe, and like clones, and being able to bring a person back that was dead.
That just doesn't sound like the right thing to do, like the Pet Cemetery. My God. You know, oh God, I know. What is it? Movie. That puts an image in your head. Have you ever heard, since you were talking about like the frequency machines, or not frequency, you were talking about frequency. I was talking about frequency machines. They used them on me when I was a kid. There was 3 of them that they used to use. Have you like heard anything about that connected with the programs?
Yeah, direct energy weapons and dues, and going into
No, these were actual
modulators,
machines,
sleep
like
machines.
in the here and now. Like one was like 2 rods that I held onto. It was kind of like sending currents up through your body. One was
like
2
a
plates
healing
in
or
water.
static amplifier, like a good thing it was doing. Or a
I don't
bad
know.
thing?
You know, I recently, my family, I've been trying to find out where these machines went, because the FBI came in. It was a farm out in Gardenville, Iowa, and the FBI came in. But before they did, my grandmother and we got a call, got up there and got these machines out. As weird as this sounds, is I didn't think this was that weird, and it wasn't in my family. It really was not. But as I got, I started to put the pieces together, and then one was a light machine that would flash like different colored lights, and he said that, I remember the explanation they gave me like on why they were using it. He said if there was any blockage, but then the other one was 2 metal plates in water current, like that ran current through. None of it sounds very safe, like I guess electrocuting your child, but this was normal in my family. This was very normal.
That's cool. Yeah, depending on the project, they like to test a lot of things. They buy up patents. There's like, I did a lot of diving into different technologies and Nikola Tesla and free energy devices that go into advanced ways to do it. I even found how a lot of them work, and the military buys anything that's a patent that gets flagged for 40% plus efficiency and power. So, and then they buy it up, and then sometimes the person that invented it goes missing. So I also have heard that, I've met people that have family members that have been essentially brain drained, where they get recruited into underground military facilities, and they're not allowed to talk about it. I would imagine there are some projects that they are testing and also have already developed certain technology. And depending on what, a person is that's coming out of it, they might be making their own, or trying to reverse engineer something they saw, and then maybe some type of plan with it that can be thwarted, or something happen. And so, that's not, like, the plates in the water sound like it can do some type of electrical effect, and maybe even change things molecularly at the water level, which I've seen, the Bions with Willem Reich. He's able to generate life by projecting 7, this human resonance into water. And I've heard a frequency device that goes into water, and it starts making the water boil and heat up. And that guy got killed. And then there's rods that go into different amplification of a current electrically and can heal people of various
That's what
illnesses.
it was. One of them was because it had even a book with it. I remember, and it'd say if you had any of these things, like if I had a headache, my grandma would be like, "We're going to go on the machine, go get the machine." Like that was like the thing to do was go get this machine, and then you look up different frequencies in it. So and it was rife because he had a microscope that they used to test my blood in the barn, which sounds crazy, but I thought this was normal. I have a AB negative blood, and they were always very interested in my blood. I know that. So you said that did you know the machine's name by chance, or like, I guess anything on it?
Well, if I saw it in person, I might be able to look at that. So feel free to send an image to me.
Okay.
There, depending on what the device does, you can like test it, like what frequencies come out of it. Is it got a piezoelectric effect of pressure in it? Like I've seen crystalline powder structures compress and then they make a big voltage. And sometimes they lock in a specific energy output. If it's like got copper or like brass, or there's like different things with zinc or a magnesium core. And if you x-ray what's in it, then I'll go more into it. It might have a coil, it might start a current that flows through the body really well. And then, picking up on as an antenna for very subtle frequencies. There's things that go into like the longitudinal waves goes into orgone, things goes into tachyon. I've heard, like different frequency bandwidths that are positive to the human body, and either bringing more density of that energy or like running a circuit in high regard so that it makes the body work really well. It's mostly what I've seen. If it's like a handheld thing, but you can do a lot more. I'd imagine that you can turn into things like I'm working on in psionic amplifiers too, and things that heal and make pain go away, increase memory, thought structure, amplify psionic abilities. Like see what it does in like compare and contrast or you're interacting, and then you can go. It could just fill up your, like some of these Rife machines like fill you up with a positive energy that like you can get nourished by, and it responds well to the fractal structure of the body. And then that makes an energy body turn on, and then they can convert that energy into more and more positive structures and systems, and you can turn like that if you get a lot of it into healing energy. I know people that are like RH negative is really good at converting infrared energy into magic or whatever they want. There's all kinds of different DNA lineages that have turned on energy bodies from the jump when they're born, as well as get activated through different things that happen in their life.
Oh, can you able? I think it got muted, Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. It's just StreamYard's crazy. I tell you, I'm like all of a sudden it's like it does crazy stuff. So, or you have StreamYard too. I've noticed just like more and more. So I apologize, but yeah, you kind of got cut off right at the end.
Yeah, no problem. What else was your question?
No, I was just going to say that you had said, I was listening to what you were saying about the Rife machines and stuff like that. There was also like a really strong like vitamin regimen that went with it. So, and then you were talking about RH negative, which is really interesting. I've always wondered, never even put two and two together that would even go along with what happened all these years later in 2017 with ET, but like, they seem to all go hand in hand, I guess. In people that you say are targeted or things like that, is there anything like, have you heard of like the heel prick that they did with some of us, especially Generation Xers? I know that that's a huge generation for this, like, or your understanding of why they're looking for certain people or why they marker certain people the way they do.
What did you say in like a heel trick or something?
A heel prick, like they started that. I think Miles Johnston had talked about it first, and then I was like, oh, well, that started. So I started digging through in my own stuff, and I was like, well, that's probably how I got put on the map. But there's some other really weird like things I just didn't know. I feel like, I guess where I'm going with this is that there were people that were coming here that they knew were coming, but they may necessarily know who they were. But I'm curious as to what they were, why these people are where these, how they knew or what they're looking for, I guess, exactly, if you knew any insight on that.
Oh, absolutely. So different projects are made at different times, like Nikola Tesla's Vortal tunnel technology and time travel and Project Pegasus, and going into like Montauk's ancient history and things with the Nazis and different banks and royalty funding operations to make underground military bases and systems of their own workforce and security team and bunkers and trail systems back and forth. So then a lot of that being the control systems are most targeted by the dark. So then them taking that over in certain ways, and then different ETs also trying to dominate the planet. They don't earn abilities, they steal them evil. So they're trying to get more things. So they're always resource mining. A lot of it's in the mining of free workforce from people. If they get flagged for higher intelligence or like certain skills, they can be used as assets in engineering and science and medical fields and pilots. And then if they have proficiency or like literally just emitting a rare energy, there are lots of monitoring systems around the planet by different factions, both human and non-human, that pick up on rare energies, especially something they're looking for. And then they flag that person, find them, and then abduct them through temporal dilation, being taken, do a bunch of things, put them back as if they never left, hologram imprint of when they were taken. So it's like seamless. It's a weird in-between rule that's allowed because it's usually against natural law to abduct people like that. So they make it seem like you can't even notice or do any, there's nothing to it. But, the mind gets older. There are things stored in emotionally in memory and all that kind of stuff that you can unlock and come through. They're after rare abilities, and so increasing camouflage output prevents a lot of that. As well as if you're giving off indications, because they're not everything that some of the higher dimensional multi-dimensional big apex predators know things from stolen abilities and are tracking people and then targeting them based on who they are, and that's the goal, to find out who they are. They'll usually pick up on divinity energy emitted by the heart if it's like a Project Ibis program, where like there's multiple of those in different countries on the planet that look for angels incarnate, dragons incarnate. What is the type of spirit that connects to a type of divinity that may have expressed itself or not have a mythos in our culture, and has various powers, like on top is heavy into finding people that can open portals or teleportation or time travel. So they're very big on dominating the timeline. And DC has like various things for telekinesis underground and different superpowers that they can use in combat. I've seen different things that the factions work a little bit with each other, but they try to secure resources for themselves that are component. They're kind of competing with each other.
Yes, it gets really weird, and some of the stuff they do, it's so wrong that this exists, but unfortunately it does. It just, people should watch their kids and watch the schools closely.
Just homeschool them. Yeah. So I heard, I'm sorry, when I had to go take care of something, I heard you talk about the RH negative blood. Do you think that has correlation with like having special abilities or different genetics other than just Earth genetics? What's your idea on that?
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, and in school settings and high public places, even water parks I've been to, there's weird flagging energetically from underground in a field that has sentience of entities monitoring to pick up people of interest to abduct them, taking blood tests, IQ tests. We're going into the doctors at school, injections, weird programs, and drinking strange fluids, and a psychic test that come into like, we're like, why are you giving me this test at an early age in school? Like, guess this thing, what? And you know, going in with can you just remind me of your question real quick? I just want to finish.
RH negative
Yeah,
blood.
thank you. Sorry, appreciate that. Yeah, so there's many different types of DNA lineages that are introduced to us. Everyone has alien DNA. It's on average, we're a super hybrid experiment of over 10,000 races, and introductions of multiple points in time, and people still having it introduced to them in genetics, as well as especially around the time of them being in the womb. You know, like visitations from soul family and some things, experimenting positive, negative, neutral. Different agendas by different races that are treating us kind of like a garden for their experiment to flourish. Some of it, they're mutual beneficial, like they see us as flowers. The better that we do, they solve their problems. And so they want us to do well, kind of see us like children. Some are more emotionless and just see us as tools or batteries or factories or ways to get rid of their suffering, ways to extend their life. Some see us as food. Yeah, so multiple factions. RH negative has over 300 unique, powerful inductions of different abilities, including an infrared dragon. The Draco really wanted to dominate it. The royal families wanted to dominate it. It has some things with the Basque people. There's mixing up with the Holy Grail lineage. There's things with just so many star systems, Anunnaki, Syrians, Orions, things like that. Now every race has like something, like some will have some of the DNA lineage and blood types will have more variety of something, but they all usually have a little bit of something of that big combination. And there's different technology with it, like the infrared. Infrared dragon tech makes the overpoweredness of being this world is high levels of infrared, so it's really easy to take in energy and then utilize that to make things happen like magic. So but if a person that's infrared doesn't have spiritual hygiene, there's chaos and tornadoes that can happen around them. There's a closed network connection of communication in that one. There's like all these little mystery schools, vision internally wise you can go into and meet a guide having to do with the ancestors of the species, talk to them. They show you a bunch of vision quests on how to go deeper into programming the genetics and unlock more of the inheritance.
Thank you. So a lot of the psychic abilities are more prominent with RH negative, do you think, than people?
They have it more unlocked in certain avenues. It comes on easier because they can just absorb energy from the environment easy. That's like it's proficient in, but you can turn that on for anyone. There's like a dormancy of that type that you can make active. And same thing with other lineages that have their own thing that they worked on strongly, like knowingness or the ability to move objects, electricity flickers around them, just vision being amplified, ability to communicate strongly. And some, DNA isn't just a solid thing. A lot of it's memory, but it's like a structure for light body codes to come in and anchor that like go along with the soul and the spirit incarnating in, and they imprint their own coding that then unfolds with the zipper and the editing factor of the genetics that then can unfold more as like their own unique mutations.
Yeah, it's something we talk about, the RH negative blood here a lot on Coley's channel, so I had to ask what you thought. So, and it's interesting you brought up.
You can make portals really easy with it.
Oh,
infrared
okay.
portals.
Or do people have to be careful sometimes to not open some up on accident too?
Oh yeah. And then your ability can be stolen and then used against them to open portals and bring things in. Everyone should like see where the generator of the ability is in their body, and then clear it and make it more powerful and potent to overtake anything that would be targeting it, to where it can self-protect itself, and then it will get clearer. But most of the times when portals are opened up in the house and weird shit is manifesting, unless they're newly awakening and they haven't like gone into like managing that structure with reality rules and their boundaries and claiming the space, then it's usually going to be their stolen authority to manifest the ability in the thing happening.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. There's so much to it, and you are a wealth of knowledge. A lot of people are really connecting with you in chat, Sean. That's absolutely amazing. Too, I guess, we really appreciate, you coming on and doing all this. It's just such a wealth of knowledge. Do you want to tell people too what services that you offer? Because you do a lot of these clearings, and like Maya said that she had services. What kind of, I kind of want to give you a little bit of time to talk about some of that as well.
Sure. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So people can reach me at psionicleague.com, PSIONIC, then league. Psionic League YouTube for my huge list of superhuman abilities demonstrated for people if they want to learn, start downloading their subconscious, and also a bunch of teaching abilities for free on that YouTube. Sean Bon on Facebook, very approachable, on Psionic League on Instagram, and X Sean Bon Psionic. I do consultations. Anything you want to ask, go into reading, clearing, healing, unlocking dormant abilities, amplifying abundance, releasing their blocks, amplifying telepathy, the third eye vision, unlocking. One of the only people that know can perform depossession at a distance that I know of, and being able to resolve situations, blocks, negative emotions. I help people that are suicidal for free, that have that, to get rid of it. Getting rid of pain, healing at a distance. Feel free to, if you have a challenge or a thing you have in a goal and an aspiration to unlock something, if you felt no one can really help you, there's just lack of that teacher in the round, go ahead and give me a shot. I like to tap into the Akashic record. I like challenges. I like reading people's soul, their DNA, piecing together new abilities. So we'll probably be able to get you to where you can resolve most problems and start unlocking big abilities. Also, if you're interested in the alien artifacts, feel free to contact me about that. psionicleague@gmail.com. And there's, if you want to come up, contact me, because each one of these is like a cell phone. You can contact a species and then interact in commerce and trade. The species have mostly been nice to me. I have met some that are a little more neutral or moral ambiguous, but I have been able to come to peace with them and resolve it. They're very empowering. Also doing trips in Mexico, various places of power, pyramids, doing shows, wizard shows, superpower shows, so look out for those. And a memory course coming up. So in August and September, if you want to learn how to retrieve memory, remember who you are, go into increasing your memory output and retention, and also like retrieve SSP stuff, and go into abductions and retrieving power and abilities that you've had, and remembering missions and why you're here, who you are. Yeah, that's a great course for everyone. It's cheaper than my regular sessions in total, all together, the course. So, yeah, and then I'm going to multiple conferences. Next week I'm going to 5B event in Sedona, going to the Super Soldier Conference in Hawaii. So feel free to hit me out there. Just came back from bases, so I'll probably do more stuff with the UK one with Miles later. Yeah, it's been
Miles,
been
yeah,
a blast.
he's a trip.
Yeah.
He's coming on not too long. I told Maya, I said, the real show with Miles is behind the scenes. Is
I'm gonna
and
get
when he
ready
goes on,
early
he behaves
just
himself.
to meet him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he gets passionate with it, and we will go into remote viewing bases together and like tracking them back and like seeing the different species. It's really fun. It's like a game. It's a chess game. But yeah, so hit me up about all that if people want to do interviews and shows and trade, whatever. Let me know. I do all kinds of consultations. How do people reach you? Because I'm also streaming my and what services do you provide and books and things you have events?
Oh, me or Coley? Both of us?
Both of you. Yeah, please.
You can find me on YouTube at Maya Starfire and Facebook at Maya Starfire, and my website is mayastarfire.com, and I do energy healing, energy readings, mostly past life stuff, and tarot and oracle card readings. There.
She's powerful. Do it. She's tapped in some power, big energies that not many people are, and I am looking forward to the oracle's capability she goes into as she's more trusting and expanding into it, and it's trained like a knife. Go ahead and answer.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's like-
I don't have any books or anything like that. I just have this. So I just SNX Radio or ColeyUFO. You can follow me on. And we have our audio that we just got out, and we're going into 180 countries. So it's really exciting. We're looking forward to getting people like you, Sean, getting your word out there, getting your services out there, and getting good people out there to be heard.
Thank you, and thank you for doing this. And yeah, maybe we can collaborate more in the future. I'll learn more. Let me learn more about you and figure out what you got going on. You probably got some powerful stories yourself, and we can both both of you guys are really powerful. So let me know what you got going on in the future, and we can sync up and empower each other.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would love to have you back, and I love working. If you ever want to do a collab or working on things like that, I love it. I'm always open to that. So it's good. I'm about promoting people. I'm not about like, hey, everybody who comes on here, you got a show, you got something. This is the way we do it because we're stronger together.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we can make this planet better. We can like tune into each other's secret gifts and how like everyone's got a piece of the puzzle. Everyone's got a cool, interesting perspective that can really shift a person's life. So this will be fun.
Absolutely. And real quickly too, Shelly asked if there was anything about O positive blood. That was, I guess we went into the O negative, or we went into the RH negative. Is there anything with the RH positive that's different, or in a different species or things like that, or I guess talents or gifts?
Commonality is oracle abilities and knowingness. So it starts as empathy. And as we feel into things and balance it and can cope with overwhelm, dumping by detaching and going within in unity to the infinite connection. And then with what you can feel into, you can change it, you can translate it, you can know it. And then it goes as you clear the emotional body to where it gets faster, instantaneous. And you can access most things that exist, and knowingness is a big thing. That's a very good strategy to go into because it allows you to go into every other ability, as well as a lot of, it's like a high level dimensional light being branching. There's over 200 plus things that are integrating into it. So, it'd take me a while, but the ones that are allowing us to know about them publicly for everyone. It's like an angelic humanoid, higher dimensional plasma light being that's imprinting a chess move in mystery school of greater miracle tech, interact with the hologram, healing, levity, light, things that allow for expansion of the consciousness and bridging into the infinite and the divine. That's some
amazing.
of the things, but you can keep answering that question over and over again and get new stuff.
That's awesome. I noticed before you were kind of speaking in like a collective. Is it kind of when it comes through, sometimes you get like messages, or you kind of channeling some of it, or I just had to ask?
A lot with what I set up. I've learned channeling. I don't do it often because I find telepathy and knowingness and truth more. I've trained as a more all the time ability whenever you want, and like channeling more of like an open space, invite either a version of yourself, higher self source, or like some people have the filter of the ego too, but also some other being. And I sometimes there's some negative things that come with that. So I prefer telepathy, and then have all these systems of stream read that comes in and flows from my higher self, my source, prime career of the galaxy, Earth, spirit guides having to do with knowingness, the authorities of the Akashic record, different data storage beings that I'm like tapping into for part of the ability. When I first started, it took a few minutes. Then I've been training it to where it takes instantaneous. So every aspect of this system that flows in information that I'm accumulating from multiple places at once has sped up to the point where I can learn things pretty instantly.
Yeah, that's really cool. I noticed that you really like it comes on, you take it on. So that's awesome that you do. I mean, you really are doing a lot, and we appreciate what you do.
I was going to say multidimensional brain, his patterns of thinking are like multidimensional. So
Oh yeah,
all
that
the things
You guys
at
too.
once, you know. I've only met like a couple people like you. Not that you're the same, but that can think on a multidimensional level. So
You guys are diamonds too. Thank you for being here.
Oh yeah, no, we really appreciate
Don't
it, and
strong
thank
into
you for coming on. You were so willing. You got like right back a hold of me. Got all your information, and I can't tell you how much that I appreciate that. And like I said, you came highly recommended. And Maya says something I like. You know, she's the all knowing. So I love it, and I love your information has been great
You
and
guys
wonderful.
are really good at knowing, for sure. You guys are good at knowing. So thank you for expanding into the truth and knowing more of this reality, and not being afraid, and expanding and penetrating through the veils, and then sharing the codes of that expansion with the rest of the collective, and doing it really well. And then building and remembering who you are. It's like you got a lot of authority, you guys. So thank you for being here.
And Maya, did you have something before we let him go?
earlier I had something, but I completely lost it. There was so much information happening. I think it was, I remember what it was. It was that we need to make sure that the story we're creating is our own story, and that we're not creating other people's stories, because it's
His story, right?
yeah, like, from a book or from gossip or from people online or wherever telling you this is the way life is, that we need to be creating it from our own hearts and our own self. So yeah, that was it for today.
Yeah, go within. Everything's there.
Awesome. Well, on behalf of all of us, Sean, we really want to thank you for your time, your information, and for everything that you do out in the community and for other people. Especially, that you're taking all this on, and that people who are suicidal, you're doing for free. That is absolutely amazing. And from the bottom of our hearts over here, we want to thank you for that. And too, if there's anything, you always got some friends over here, and we look forward to doing future work with you in collabs.
Same. Looking forward to hearing from you again. Feel free to hit me up. And thank you to your audience. You guys are lights for the world. Thank you for shining.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, they all want you back, so I'll be contacting you, and we'll definitely get part 2 and hopefully future work. So again, Sean, thank you so much. Wow, that was amazing, Maya. How cool, and you got to experience that, and That was I love this type of work, and I don't get into it myself, but I just it's so fascinating and it's so needed. And even yourself, I was talking about. I'm like, man, Maya. I was telling Jay even. I was like, Maya knew like even before she'll drop in. I said because sometimes he has some issues, and I'm like, reach out to Maya. I said there's times she'll be like, do you have a headache or do you have this? And she clears and sends good energy, and it helps. It helps a lot. It really does. Huge believer in this type of work prior to going and getting a pill or try the energy work. It's usually the energy that's creating the ailment, I guess, is what I've found.
Yeah, absolutely. And just sometimes just being able to name what it is and where it's coming from, or seeing the spiritual aspect of it can be super helpful. Not that there's not a physical element to pain or illness, but sometimes I'm going to say like 80%, if not 90% of the time, we get these diseases because of something manifesting from emotional or spiritual harm. So, yeah. And it was really nice to have him on because, when you go to someone for a reading, they don't tell you their story. You tell them.
Oh, yeah. You get to hear from his now. What he's, how cool. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, you're right. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And two, I wanted to ask you if you had any. Maya just had an episode with Kevin. Remind me of Kevin's last name.
Australia.
I'm not even trying. She had an interview with Kevin, guys. Okay,
yeah.
And it's on Maya Starfire. Go over to her YouTube channel. She did absolutely fabulous. You really did a really good job. So I was so impressed. It was like, man, Maya, she's getting it. So she's got a great show. Definitely go and follow her. Check out her website, mayastarfire.com. You got a new a new Facebook page. Mm-hmm. Also, now I have it all in the links, and Amy's been posting. Amy, I said, link it up, girl. Like she has been posting the links like crazy. So we really, really appreciate that, Amy.
Click on the draw, yeah.
Oh man, I was like, how do you do this? I don't even know. She had all the links even before I put them in there with Sean. I was like, I'm impressed. You gotta tell me how you do this. And Diane, thank you for the inspiration for that. And it's great to see you guys in chat. So, what am I missing here? Oh, tomorrow is Pop's panel, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's ever the second and fourth Monday of the month. And real quickly, I just want to go through and thank Amy. Thank you so much, girl. She is doing a fantastic job, and we're welcoming her to the crew. So officially, she's definitely, love it. And thank you, Amy. You're really, I need to learn these tricks from you. I mean, I don't even know how you got all those links before. I mean, she had all the audio going too. I was so impressed. And thank you, and welcome to the new SNX crew member. We're glad to have you. Moon and Noon, thank you so much. It is always appreciated. And Benzo, I thought that they were calling him Benzo because of the pill, because he's so chill and relaxed. But whatever it is, I smile about it, Ben. You are absolutely wonderful. We love having you. You've been here for so long. You're part of the foundation. And Kurt W75, I saw him earlier too. I mean, absolutely, you guys have stuck by me since day one, and I appreciate all of you. I really do. And Amy, thank you so much again, and welcome to the new SNX ground crew member. We are happy to have you. And we have next Saturday we have Miles Johnston coming up, and he's always high energy. Since we're talking about bases, I can't wait to see what Miles has for us next Saturday. And that is, I believe at 2 p.m. Do we have 2 or 4 p.m.? I'll have to check. But I actually have all the shows listed. So you can go right under there, see what we have live coming up. And we have some really cool, people coming up. So definitely tune in. And is there anything that you got for the collective before we go, Maya?
No, just make sure you're creating your own story, because we are constantly creating things. So if you fall too much into someone else or multiple people saying things that isn't really coming from you, it's possible you can create that for yourself or others. So
You're so true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about that. It's like, man, do you be careful what you think and create. Like, sometimes I'm so guilty of it, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I did that to myself.
Well, yeah. But we're human though. We're supposed to be flawed and make mistakes though. So
Like, and I love you see it like that. Maya's like my sister, you know. She hears me through so much of this, and I absolutely so glad that you're a part of this, Maya. I mean, it's just been an amazing journey so far, and we're looking forward to the future. It's really going to be a game changer with all the audio going out in translations, and that really means a lot. That, you know, even people like Benoit, he knows that I slaughter it, but you know who Benoit, it's spelled like Benoit. But he said, that's okay if you call me that. But he speaks primarily French. And while we're live, because the translations won't go in until after it's rendered, he's actually translating what we're saying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like just stuff like that. I mean, there's people that have gone so far out of their way. Like, I mean, Amy, Diane, everybody. I could list a reason for everybody that's here tonight. And I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, you guys, I really appreciate that. And this is really, I really want to put the people that come on and get this information to as many people, at least have it accessible and understandable. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. So on behalf of SNX Radio, I'm Coley, also known as ColeyUFO, and we have the beautiful and lovely and talented Maya Starfire. And on that note, we will be seeing you guys very soon. So definitely tune in tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Lori Ladd, Cindy Bailey, and Pops, and they're coming with a cool and new, they have a guest coming on. So yeah,
Cool.
We'll leave it at that. Awesome. Until next time.
Transmission acknowledged. We beam back official acknowledge. The journey into the unknown starts now.